Good evening, my viewers and listeners. It's time for something terribly interesting. Part 4, The Clash. The airplane was flying towards the unknown. No one knew what path the dragons would choose. There were many doubts, but the calculated trajectory was correct. After a few hours of flight, the pilots saw huge gloomy silhouettes in the clouds. There was no time to delay. The noise of the engines gave away the presence of people in the clouds. The lizards could detect the pursuers in advance, so they had to react and act instantly. Alpha flew first in the pack, taking careful aim. The Dragon Slayer fired a fatal shot. A beam of blinding light pierced the sky and struck Alpha in the chest. The dragon let out a deafening trumpeting roar and he began to lose altitude. He flew towards the ground, frantically grabbing air with his wings. His heart was torn to shreds. He was wheezing and bleeding. His kin circled above him in panic, calling and screaming. That Alpha groaned in response, but his voice was weak and his breathing intermittent. Finally, he collapsed on the rocks, closed his eyes, and let his breath out. The entire dragon family, realizing the death of their leader, soared high into the clouds and disappeared from a human sight. The crew did not hesitate to turn the plane around and, after transmitting a message to the ground, hurriedly flew away from the scene of the attack. The mission was accomplished, but the dragons, who had seen the death of Alpha, the strongest and wisest of them all, rushed to avenge their leader. They gathered together and, roaring with rage, rained down on the resistance plane from above. Furious fire and huge columns burst from their open throats. The pilots tried to maneuver to dodge the flames, but the dragons were too fast. The airplane, surrounded by a tornado of fire, exploded in midair and shattered into pieces. In the last seconds of their lives, the crew was instantly annihilated by the fiery tornado that sizzled their bodies. After seeing the plane's demise, the dragons continued their journey. They avenged Alpha by destroying his killers. Rising into the high clouds, they flew heavily away from the site of the battle, heading towards the distant horizon. Meanwhile, the message relayed by the Dead Resistance expedition to Earth traveled around the world. Humanity realized it had a chance to fight, and when allies began to join the resistance, new teams were forming in different parts of the world, ready to fight the dragons. The humans realized they hadn't lost yet. The dragons didn't know that the humans hadn't given up yet, that the war was just beginning and that the worst was yet to come. Sleep well, my friends.